The cool thing about speaking in front of an audience is that once you're up on stage, the audience trusts you because the people who got you there were trustworthy. In other words, if you go to a conference, you're going to trust the people who put the conference on to get decent speakers. People who aren't going to be bad speakers or have bad content. Now, they may trust you at the beginning, but it's your job to make them trust you all the way through the presentation. Let me talk about 4 ideas with public speaking. The first is look for industry conferences. These are conferences that you might want to go to as an attendee. When I launched my company in 2006, I was invited to speak at an industry conference with career coaches and resume writers. I'd never been involved with this group before. I was excited. I knew I should be excited, but I was definitely nervous. By the time the conference started, I had been invited to present in 2 other slots. I was on stage 3 times in this conference. Well, I was also a vendor, so I'd go back to my vendor booth, and the other vendors would come up to me and say, "How did you get on the schedule? Not just once, but 3 times." Even though I was a vendor with a booth, I was the speaker and people trusted me, and it was awesome. I was able to have conversations with people that I never would have had just in the vendor area. Just like a book gives you a certain amount of credibility as the expert, so does being a speaker or a presenter at these conferences. You can have different types of audiences. You might speak to your peers, which would be fellow technologists or project managers, or you might speak at an industry conference not in technology at all. Make sure you understand who your audience is and speak to that audience. There's a big difference between public and professional speaking. I remember at a network meeting, we were introducing ourselves in a circle. The guy before me stood up and he said, "I'm a public speaker." And what he was saying was, "I'm not afraid to get up in a group. I'm okay to stand up in front of a group and speak," which apparently is one of the things that people are afraid of. When he sat down, I stood up and I said, "Well, he's a public speaker, but I'm a professional speaker. And what that means is I do everything he does, but I get paid to do it." Of course, you're going to get value if you're a professional speaker and you get paid to do that. There are people that make very good livings as professional speakers. But you can get a lot of brand building value out of simply being a public speaker. If I'm invited to speak somewhere and they don't have a budget, I might still do it if it's going to get my branding in front of the right people. Finally, I would suggest that you get help to become a better speaker. One of my friends in New Jersey was terrified to do any kind of public speaking, and then he joined Toastmasters. He jumped into the program completely, and now he does a great job in front of audiences. He got tips and training, and he got guidance, and he got a lot of practice, and after all that, he's now a great public speaker. I suggest that if you're interested in public speaking or using public speaking as a branding tool, find people and places that can help you. Toastmasters is a great place to help you refine what your presentation is. The National Speakers Association, and whatever equivalent that is across the world, will help you create a speaking business. There are great resources to help you become a better public speaker. Here's my final tip. Even if you don't feel like you're ready, don't shy away from the opportunity. Every time you speak, you get better at speaking.